what I also would tell people,
your head in
what I also would tell people is what you have to understand is the intentionality of systems here in America, like what they are meant to do.
No, I understand that.
Okay, so go back to a point I was going to make. At what point in American history do you feel like black people own the most land? When have black people owned the most land in the history of America?
Right behind you, paper towels.
Yeah.
It's paper towels behind you.
I'm sweating.
I got you.
Sweating.
I got you.
I'm drinking, but he's sweating.
I got you.
Yeah. At what point in American history do you feel like black people own the most land?
Wasn't that Black Wall Street?
Close. What point like of us owning the most land, the most acreage of land in American history? What point in history?
I don't know.
Okay, it was like in the 1910s.
1910s.
Okay, so the reason, and so as many billionaires, of all the billionaires that we talk about,
Right.
of all the people right now that we revere, of all the money that we say that we have, we own more land in 1910, around 1905, 1906 than we ever owned. And the reason why that we own that land is because after slavery, during the time, like right after the 7 Mystic Years, black people made it a point to buy land. What we were told was that the way to get, to move ahead in America was to be a part of the American agrarian society, have land, have horses, be farmers.
Right.
Okay. When this is a point that I'm making. When that happened, white America said no to that. And let me tell you how they said no.
Right.
They said no in a couple of different ways. Number one, Black Wall Street, situations like that.
Right.
Black Wall Street,
Right.
Rosewood, North Carolina, places. They just came.
Harlem.
They just came and they took your land.
Harlem.
They said
They burned it down.
they burn your shit down. We took it. It's ours. Whatever.
Right.
Move off.
Right.
Another way that they took it
Eminent domain.
was through contract buying schemes, right?
Right.
You did that in Seneca Village in Central Park.
Right. Have people come along,
Right.
buy your up, force you out.
Right.
Later on is redlining.
Right.
What I'm telling you right now is to live as a Black American in this country is to be up against a system
And I agree.
that is there intentionally to oppress you.
I agree. And that's the same system that Marcus Garvey advised us to get the away from.
But I'm telling you right now, there are different ways to fight against and different ways to try to access your freedom in that system, destroy that system, and around that system.
I agree.
The one thing we can't do, though, is what you're doing.
What's that?
The one thing that we can't do, though, is blame the combatants for the war.
I'm not blaming the combatants.
What you're saying is that what you're saying when you say that slavery was a choice.
Because I like Superman.
But like what
doesn't mean I think Clark Kent is a piece of shit.
But like
that's not
when you
I
say
like
that
Superman.
when you say that slavery was a
Right.
choice, you're assigning weakness to scores and scores of people, millions of people.
No, actually what I'm doing is I'm awakening part of these people's brains that's gonna be like, you know what? It is a choice. And if they ever try this shit again, we know we got a choice.
So let me ask you this. You're a rapper, right? How many rappers do you know that are in bad contracts?
Yo, these questions, it's like,
Why are you looking at me? He asked you. He's over there. Look that way.
Answer the question.
how many rappers you know that's in bad contracts?
How many
rappers
rappers-
didn't know how many rappers they know that's in bad
Do you know
contracts?
rappers, nigga?
Yes, I do.
How many rappers
and I understand that also.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why did they sign those contracts?
Because they wanted to get immediately out of the situation.
It's incredible.
that they
Okay,
were
so
in.
let me ask you. So let me ask you a question then.
Was it smart?
Well, like,
Was it smart?
But
No, it wasn't.
there's something called
They regret it.
There's something called a choice matrix.
Right.
And the choice matrix is like, hey, based upon where I am and what I'm doing, what's the best option in terms of what's in front of me?
Right.
So when we get on people for making bad decisions, what we never do is take stock of the decisions that are available to them, right?
Right.
So then if I look at somebody and it says, hey, I signed a bad rapper contract, cool. Well, that's stupid. Hey, be more about your contract. Be better about what you did. Right. But is that a better option than being out on the street, getting it with bullets whizzing by your head? Probably so. So what I'm telling you is that Black people in America have always tried to do the best with the choices that are available to them. And we've achieved to high levels in that. We've achieved to middle levels in that. And some people have failed us.
Right.
And for the ancestors that were here, the people that walked through the mud, for us, to sit here and try to litigate their lives and what they should have done
No.
while we're in here drinking Hennessy and all of that,
Right.
it's fucked. We can agree to
It's
disagree.
not fucked. It's
It
not
is.
fucked.
Like we
And
can.
I'm gonna tell you why.
We
I'm
can
gonna tell you why.
agree.
Because that's not
I
what
hear,
we're doing.
Because
That's
I hear
not
niggas
what we're
complain about
doing.
the cops
But
all the
that's-
time.
but
But
that's
what I
not
don't
what we're
see
doing.
is niggas gearing up and going down to police stations to bang it out
We
with
did
the
that
police.
already.
Okay.
Black Panthers. We already did that. We already did that. We tried. Okay.
What happened to the Black Panthers?
This ain't really work out.
No.
Let's figure out another way. No. Hold on.
Matt,
hold
what
on,
happened to the Black
hold on.
Panthers?
I want to just twist something back and
Matt,
say
what happened to the
that's
Black
not
Panthers?
what we're doing. What we're
Matt,
doing.
what happened to the Black Panthers?
The rappers that you're talking about. Who do we aspire to be? The ones that knew or the ones that didn't? Jay-Z came from a lifestyle of whizzing bullets too.
Right.
But you know what? He was just a little bit more smarter with his shit.
Okay.
So we aspire to be Jay-Z rather than to accept that, oh, he didn't know no better, so, we might not know better forever.
But can I ask you a
you know what I'm saying? No, there was a guy that knew better.
But can't
follow his footsteps. Let's go.
But you know what that does? But you know what that does though?
We're not shitting on the people who did it. We're just looking at who knew better. And follow them.
In my opinion, you know what that does?
What?
In my opinion, what that does is it absolves the system. And let me tell you what I mean by that. What I mean by this is there will always be exceptional black people. There's when white people are trying to tell black people that racism, systemic, that doesn't exist, you know what they say? They say, how can racism exist
when you have
Oprah? When you have Jay-Z,
bullshit.
When you have Obama,
But it's a small
when you have
percentage.
this,
Right.
So what I'm telling you is this. Let me give you a difference between Obama and George W. Bush. Mm-hmm. George W. Bush is a C student, right? He's a C student. Never ever achieved in anything in his life.
Right.
Went out on oil, failed. Baseball, failed.
Right.
Was able to finagle his way into being the governor of Texas, right?
No, Air Force was before that.
Then he becomes the president of the United States as a C student. Do you know why? Because his fucking ancestors were on the Mayflower. They have a stake in here. Prescott Bush is his grandfather, who is an American senator. His father was the vice president.
Right.
So you have two presidents coming back to back. One who is legitimately average, a C student in America, an average white person that's been protected by the American system. The president after him is the most exceptional president in the history of America. That's your nigga. That's the one that's the editor of the Harvard Law Review.
Right.
That's the one that killed every single situation ever.
Right.
That's the guy that gets there.
Right.
Societies are based not in the most exceptional people.
Right.
Societies are based around how successful you can be when you are the average everyday working person. And when America was at its richest, when any society is at its best, at its most functional, it's when people who aren't as talented as math, aren't as talented as Van, aren't as talented as the men in this room, can go out and make a living, where they can work factory jobs, where they can work in clothing stores, where they can work as mechanics in situations like that.
So, depending on the circumstances.
Right, whatever, right? And to where they can build and give their kids an opportunity. What I'm telling you about, what we're talking about is, if we want to live in a situation where we're telling everybody to be Jay-Z or everybody to be Jordan, it can't work.
This trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the way you need to surf, you heard.